Welcome to Mile with Stephen Smith. Week 8 has ended, and what an interesting week it was, such as the Creepers' downfall. People said their synergy started falling off, and I just want to tell those people, you are wrong. There was no synergy from the start for this team, and I instantly knew the problem for the team since week 1. The problem for the team is Jeff Bezos. He is hands down the worst sword fighter for season 6 so far. But Stephen, what about the brawlers? What about them? They seem like average brawlers, doing a lot better than Freddy Fazbear and Sukuna will ever do in their whole career. Bezos, on the other hand, is doing the worst for his class. He has too many games with a low score performance. 4-8, 3-9. 2-8. Alec Baldwin out here always saying, I can't figure out what will be the problem for the team. Alec, if you're watching this, I'll tell you what the problem is. You still have the third worst sword fighter from last season still in your team. You only got 1 week left before all trades are closed off. Hear me out, Alec. You still got one chance to fix all of this. Trade out either Bezos or your bench players to pick up a new sword fighter like Anakin Skywalker. Hell, trade out 2 players to pick up 2 sword fighters if you have to. All right, Giants, don't act like I don't see you either. All I have been hearing from you guys is that you had bad luck all season. Now, I don't think you guys had bad luck. I think y'all just had bad players all season. I am tired of seeing Billy Bob try carrying the team while the rest of them are picking their asses on the side field. Maybe trade out one of your brawlers, and maybe Gene too. I never liked Gene as a sword fighter for the team. I am sure that is probably why Obi-Wan was constantly going back in last season while suffering Joy-Con drift. Hey, at least he ain't like Levi. Now on to the Bulls. There is nothing for me to say anything about them because they feel like the Detroit Pistons, but an every year thing. The Phoenix is still performing the worst in the league, even when they picked up Woody. Don't get me wrong, I am a Woody fan. People really give him shit and call him an awful player. He isn't an awful player, as he knows how to actually play the game, unlike Satru Gojo. But I still see Woody as a top contender player, like Daniel Flake and Goro Akichi. So what is the problem that Woody gets put with shit players? Well, I just answered the question. He literally gets placed with shitty-ass players. Not only that, but Team Griefing Reggie has also joined again in Woody team. Week 7, I thought they got their shit together, but week 8 tells a whole different story. A major problem with teams like these is that they are afraid to get rookie brawlers into their team and go for a player that is level 8. Season 6 is probably the best season, where a lot of rookies aren't actually that bad. We have Peter Lamb from the Dragons, Yugi Itadori from the Fletchers, and Nezuko from the Golems. These 3 I can easily see become the next Thanos within these next 5 years. All right, since we are on the topic of brawlers, let us talk about the Jess Anchek zombies, because Joseph Chrome is at it again this season. After week 7, the zombies did the craziest thing I have seen in all my years. They dropped Buzz from the team. They traded off Corrido from the team for Freddie. They traded off their all-star pick for Thomas Stalker. Fucking dog shit of a brawler, Thomas Stalker. Now take a look at this team and tell me what is wrong with it. Is it the fact they have Thomas Stalker and Freddy Fazbear as their brawlers? Or is it the fact Mark Jackson is now a gunner and Joseph Chrome is a sword fighter? Well, I can tell you what is wrong with this team and that they are all brawlers. Mark Jackson has 0 experience as a gunner, and so has Joseph Chrome as a sword fighter. I might have to take the Joseph Crome part back because I'm pretty sure he sword fights his dick with Skip Bayless. But Stephen, the team won this week with this roster. They aren't bad at all. You're right, they did win, and they didn't do so bad at all either. My problem is that Thomas Stalker is the brawler, and Joseph Crome is the sword fighter. I was highly upset about this because Crome was this season's best brawler so far with a KD ratio of 1.4. They should have made Stalker the ass of a brawler to be the sword fighter and kept Crome as the zombies brawler. Actually, the team still has a sword fighter, and it's the level 9 sword fighter, Anakin Skywalker. I don't understand the beef between Anakin and Bellamy, but Bellamy, if you don't like him, just get rid of him and have some other team use him. I really want to talk about Nimbasa on how ass they have become in the last 3 seasons. First off, Levi is and has always been a shitty sword fighter for the team. They thought he would be Beyblading through the fields. But wake up, Callus. This man is just an actor, and his character in his show was the actual badass. I tell you what, Nimbasa, you're not the only team struggling with a sword fighter that uses a pool noodle instead of an actual sword. Lastly, for Nimbasa, Aaron and Annie don't do jack shit for the team either. You got one edgy emo kid who doesn't take the game seriously and one stick up the ass bitch who doesn't care about winning or losing for the team. However, you did 3 things that made me proud. 1, you got rid of that nerdy blonde boy. 2, you picked up L+ ratio. And 3, you haven't benched Reiner. Now, before I go home, let me go ahead and see some quill posts y'all have been sending me. At 60 Clock Booze, Stephen A. If you're drafting an all-star team, who would you select? 60 Clock Booze. Let me remind you that we are talking about Mal here and not the NBA. So when you bring up the term all-star, it brings a whole new meaning when it comes to the Mob Arena League. I see so many different meanings to that question. Like, am I selecting players that have won an all-star? There isn't much to work with unless we were working with season 1 rules. In that case, it would be Daniel Flake, Ryan Swine, and Thanos. Or maybe you want me to select players that went to all-stars. However, I know exactly the type of question you're asking for. And that is what strong players do I want for an ultimate team. Starting off is the gunner, and it would be no-brainer if I didn't pick Daniel Flake. Every year, it has been proven, year after year, he is the Mob Arena League's best player. Also, no matter what players are in his team, it seems he has great synergy and is capable of taking any team to the playoffs if the players are ass or not. Now, we just need a sword fighter. I would have to select hash-slinging slasher Tanjiro. Pillagers really fumble on getting rid of him. They could have been 8-0 if they kept Tanjiro. Tanjiro is one of the most skilled sword fighters this league has ever seen. I believe this season he has only had 1 negative game, unlike Jacob, who had 3 negative games. Now, what about my brawlers? Let me see. Man, oh man, as much as I love Wiggler, he ain't doing so hot this season, so cancel him out. This one might be a shocker, but I would have to go with Joseph Alexander Crome. I am sure once he gets his level 8, he will be 10 times a better brawler than most of the other brawlers. Hell, he wouldn't have to do much but stay positive and let Daniel Flake and Tanjiro carry his fat ass to victory. My last brawler pick would have to go to either Makoto Nijima or Peter Lamb. Let's go with Makoto Nijima. It is too early to think Peter Lamb is a Saint brawler right now, since he has only played 3 games. Makoto Nijima is currently engaged to Ren Amiyama, AKA Joker, AKA Foxfire's old coach. Season 3, she wasn't a bad player until she joined the Foxfires. As soon as she joined them, her games ended up going negative. Maybe she couldn't get Joker out of her mind. Sheesh. Women. Season 3 and 4 were skipped. Season 5, she came back and wasn't a bad brawler either. Now, season 6, she has shown to be a heavy hitter on the field. She probably had to teach Peter Lamb how to throw some hands out there. Next quill post, at Murdoch Bowen, asked Stephen A., who would win in a best of 5, Woody or Buzz? In a 1v1. Murdoch, you were probably dropped on your head as a baby by your alcoholic father to think that Buzz is as equal to Woody. Buzz stands no chance against the gunslinger cowboy. Buzz is only an infant to the league, and he is still trying his best to be potty trained. Woody is an old man now and will kick that toddler ass any day. Let's go to our last quill post before we do some calls. At Thirsty Kamoshida, 6'9" said, Stephen A., who would you rather take on in a wrestling match in the bedroom? Donna Mink, Monica, or Boom Quifa? Great question. Because personally, I would take your mother. But since you did give me these 3 choices, I'll pick one. First, remove the fish breath blue hair woman. She ain't into BBC, maybe BWAP. But I ain't transitioning into that. What do we have left? Monica and Donna. Monica, she is like a pair of old Jordans. Too much creases, it smells. And it's very overused. Going to eliminate her out, which just leaves us with Donna. So yeah, I have to pick Donna Mink. All right, let us get to the phone calls. We have my good pal, Skip Galis from Riverside. What is your question?
Yes, Stephen Naismith, let me just say, you made the right choice to pick my Joey boy as your all-star brawler. Okay, so my question to you is, who would you rather take on in a wrestling match in the bedroom? Joseph Crome, Joey Hound, or L+ Ratio?
Skip, I don't know how many times I have told you I don't swing like that, brother. However, if I had to pick one, Emma have to cross out Joey Hound. He doesn't seem like the submissive type. And his persona is a wolf.
Who said you'd be the top?
Brother, what the fuck? Your question didn't specify what role I am. Emma, be honest with you, I am going to have to go with L+ Ratio. L+ Ratio skin looks moisturized and smooth, unlike the roughness and wrinkles on Joseph Crome.
Ooh, what a good choice. It has been a whole year since I wanted fuck that twink's plumply ass. Also, you don't have to worry about Joseph being all rough and wrinkly if you just tell him to oil up.
All right, thank you, Skip. Let's go to our next caller. Our next caller is Pix from Riverside as well. Hello, Pix, what is your question?
你好，黑人，实际上是我跳过同性恋。我想问你另一个问题，你是否愿意让我细腻的大黑鸡巴？
Skip, I know that's fucking you. Why are you speaking to me in Chinese, man?
Stephen, jung fot lukau hoi kwa toi. Ban kode chotoi bukach kwa ban George Kong. Joseph Kong kan biet truki ban muanan I biet.
Great. Now you're fucking speaking that Nam language.
Vamos, hombre negro, déjame chupar esa polla. Demonios, puedo montar esa gran polla negra si quieres que lo haga también.
Vete a la mierda, hombre blanco. Ni hoy ni mañana te dejaré chuparme la polla. Solo las zorras guapas y con culos redondeados del mundo pueden chupar y montar esta
Oi
gran
thoi nawan
polla
banda jen,
negra
junglam de
mía.
voi toi, bai gio toi
Chet,
jang rat hung timba
tiet,
toi jang
anban.
hao hat con caxtolon mo
Tuisap ke
jen
tu
kua
boy
ban,
dien.
thoi nao,
Base
je toi
kong
lien
han
mot kai
juo
ji an
kong
ban.
ga trong nai. Tambiet moan goi on ha ve shuk moan goi non gong ong.